guy studied my social media so well.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel, AquaStarGoddess. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a video. Smash the like
button. He
studied
my social media enough where without me posting it, he knew that I was out of a relationship. And what would he try to do? He would try to slide in and try to get what I like to call vulnerable punani. He would try to slide in and try to get vulnerable punani from me because he studied my social media so well. He was able to discern the fact that I was out of a relationship even though I never publicly posted it or stated it. And he felt played because he realized that it wasn't going to work. I knew what he was doing. A lot of men are going to continue to watch your social media even though they're not going to deal with you on a personal level because they are trying to frame some sort of identity for themselves. They are trying to find some level of individualism within themselves. It's never going to work because the male is not individualistic.
Is very interesting, especially because I've had my own minute mini experience with this. And so I do agree that what she's saying can very well be true. Now, will I say it's true for all men? Probably not. Anyway, this girl, her name is Queen Sovereign, YT Queen Sovereign. And she talks, wait, I don't even know if this is her page. Is this her page? Anyway, she talks a lot about like men and situations with men in general. She's like she used to be a stripper or something, like she was a stripper or something like that. And so she talks a lot about like the male population just in general. On this video specifically, she was talking about how men basically get personalities from females. So there's a specific female that they may follow and they learn how to go and manipulate other women by following that woman and listening to what she has to say, etc., etc., etc. I've seen this happen in real life, so I know it to be true. Okay. And although I could consider myself being flattered by such an event, I also find it disturbing and a little disgusting. But I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not, because everything is starting to get disgusting to me, honestly. So let me not say that. But today, that's not what I came to talk to you here about. Hey, Peter, how's it going? How you been, babe? Today I came to talk about the earth. The earth is responding, Hansi. Several months ago, I did not talk about a specific thing that happened down in Argentina. But I'm going to pile that into this conversation. It's just a mint, babe. I know I look like every time I'm doing something I'm eating. Anyway. Yeah, so this morning, I saw a headline about the volcano. So there's a specific volcano in Hawaii that has actually been dormant. A dormant volcano has exploded, okay, and has erupted. And in addition to that, we have the floods over in Texas, and I believe there's some floods in some other areas as well. I don't really know, but I just know kind of some of the, I've been hearing stuff. It's just like little birdies whisper in my ear from time to time. But I don't follow the news. I have not really been tapping in on social media, to be honest with you, especially over like the last month. Over the last month, it's literally been just me, my music, and me. I haven't been watching a lot of content. I haven't been consuming a lot of content at all. But what I have been picking up on is weather stuff and how the earth is responding. Now, we can say a couple things. We can say that Mother Gaia or Mother Earth is waking up. Isis is waking up. We could say that the frequency of the earth is raising. The vibration is rising. We could say that. We could say that the people are so agitated that it is causing the earth to respond. We can say so many things, and I believe that to some degree all of these things are true. I did not talk about a few months ago down in Argentina. The water was like blood. Okay, so like the water was like blood. There was like blood red water. Okay, so let me see if I can find it, and I'm sure I got pictures of it, but Antarctica, Argentina. Let's look in Argentina. Here we go. Argentina. See, look at that. See that right there? Blood red water. This was in a canal near Buenos Aires, And this did not get a lot of airplay at all. But it should have, because this is one of the signs of the times, for lack of better words, okay? Because, like, let me tell you, I feel like the book of Revelation is really just a prophecy of what to look for. The thing is I think that there's more to it. I don't think that that's all that there is. I think that there's more to it. What I feel like these are signs of is signs that things are changing drastically. You have a choice to decide how you are going to allow that to impact you, right? So this happened, several months ago, and this was not a natural occurrence. This is not a natural thing. It's not a natural occurrence. This is something very new, something very abnormal. Okay, abnormal. Okay, and it didn't get a lot of airplay. It did not get a lot of airplay. This whole blood red water. But that was actually right before a lot of shifts and changes in the earth started making, like, vibrationally. Like, vibrationally, the earth starts like revving up a little bit, okay? So yeah, just know that. But yeah, there's a volcano that erupted recently. There's this flood talk and all sorts of little weather shit going on. And I just want you guys to know a couple of things you probably want to be doing just to make sure you're on the right side of justice, okay? I'm not afraid of the earth, because from the earth we come, and back to the earth we shall return. Dust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust type vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, to some degree, we come from the earth, we'll return back to the earth, right? And there is no death. We continue on. We just reincarnate into another body, right? But I want to say that one of the things that I've done recently, which is why I haven't had any issues or concerns or worries about anything with water, is because I did appease the water spirits. And what that means is I went and I, gave offerings to the water spirits or the water goddesses, and whatever it was that they may have desired me to give. Some of them like things with, like, breads and crackers and stuff like that. Some of them like fruits like watermelons and papayas and stuff like that. Now I know that a lot of people are still not so certain how to adjust to, like, traditional spirituality, okay? But it's no different from, let's say, when you go to the church and they have, like, an altar for Jesus, okay? It's no different from, like, you going to the church and they have, like, communions. Those are actually rituals, okay? And a lot of people like to pretend that the church does not have these types of rituals. You are very familiar with traditional practices, even though you don't realize you are, okay? But I want you to understand that the earth, she trying to tell you something. She trying to holler at you real quick and let you know, hey, goddamn it, y'all ain't been giving me my libations like you supposed to. Y'all ain't been giving me my y'all have not been venerating my name like you're supposed to. So listen, I mean, you can cry about that being whatever. They have demonized traditional spirituality, but traditional spirituality went into respect of the earth, respecting of each other, knowing that we are all somehow connected to the earth and to each other, and and blah blah blah. And so we still we venerated those energies, okay? And that has been gravely or there's been a grave decrease in those activities since the missionaries came and told everybody that Christianity and Islam were the only ways, that there's only one God, one monotheistic God, and there's only one way to do this. And if you don't do it this way, then, well, you're going to die and you're going to go to hell. In reality, most of you live in hell already, okay? 1 second. Let me unplug this charger. I'll be right back. many people already live in hell. Let's just keep it a buck. Okay? The way that your life is going, just simply being unhappy. And I'm talking about people with money. This ain't about money. This ain't about money. It's not about riches. Riches does not equate to happiness. Happiness equates to happiness. Sorry, let me find a place to park, y'all. Just bear with me. Ma'am, can you come up in here? Like you got some sense? All right, let me find somewhere to park. Somewhere with shade, because girl, it's hot out here today. So let me see. Let me put y'all right here for a minute, just for a second. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. So we know that that's not the full story, because obviously there's some oppression that's involved in this little whole thing. There's some murder, killing, pillaging, things of that nature that's involved in this whole storyline. So we know that there are some people who have just been oppressed in the worst types of ways. So, once you lose the knowledge, you kind of just ignorant. Okay, so for those ignorant people, okay, you are not really holding the responsibility, but people who know, so that would be like your coons. So you got a coon or somebody who's like pretending that, oh, no, bitch, you know the fucking story, you know the fucking history. And if you are pretending that it's not the case and that it's not the truth, with the access, the resources, and the the position that you have, then you're gonna be right along with them when this earth start cracking down on these motherfuckers and start opening up little holes in the ground to suck their asses in there. Now, so listen, basically the earth is responding, and the response from the earth comes from the various different atrocities that are occurring on this earth. The breaking down of the trees. Have you seen, there was like a video of it's like a whole bunch of seagulls in Alabama somewhere that just dropped dead. Like 50 to 100 seagulls just dropped dead and out the sky. It was just laying down on top of people's roofs, on top of the grass, in the middle of the street, just dropped dead and just there. I'm gonna tell y'all a little quick story real quick, and this is just I hit a duck about 3 weeks ago, and the duck, what ended up happening was I was driving down this road, and I was driving the speed limit and everything like that, but the duck, I was kind of watching, and I was like, okay, duck, what are you doing? So the duck had decided to just jump out in the middle of the street, literally just jumped out, and I just couldn't stop in time. I cried for 10 minutes, okay? I fucking cried for 10 fucking minutes because I hit a goddamn duck. So I I can only imagine if you're like driving down the street and a fucking seagull drops into the ground and then you happen to run over that motherfucking seagull. Even if it was dead and it dropped in the ground, you can still feel it underneath your wheels. You know, like you can feel that shit. So I know how that just could be just horrendous. Listen, I cried for 10 fucking minutes. So, seeing things like that, where the ducks falling down, and I mean, not the ducks, but the seagulls falling, dropping dead out of the sky. Like, that's got to be like, what the fuck is going on? Additionally, recently, there was also another video where a bunch of, I don't know what kind of birds, they look like ducks. They look like ducks or something like that. Were just like walking. It was like 200 of them just like marching down the street in the middle of the street, and they were just going somewhere. Nobody knew where they was going, but it was like 200 fucking ducks. Okay, that was marching. Okay, marching down the street. And somebody took video of these motherfuckers. It was like, where y'all going? Like, they just marching. These niggas was marching, okay? So the animals began to respond as well. You must understand, the earth, first off, the birds, they don't have speaking words like you and I have. They don't communicate like we communicate. The birds, the bears, the bees, all that, they don't communicate like we do. But they do communicate in nonverbal cues. One of the things that my grandfather used to tell me when I was younger was watch the birds. Like, when you start seeing the birds flocking, pay the fuck attention. And the birds been flocking, okay? The birds have been flocking, boo. Okay? So pay attention, goddammit. Pay attention. The birds are flocking. There's some of these, like I saw like a beaver or something attack a white woman because she was all in his goddamn you know, she was in his land, or so she was in his water, and he just started attacking the shit out of her and just bit the back of her head and all sorts of shit. You know. So when I saw that video this morning of the beaver attacking the woman, I kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't have to worry about being afraid of any of those things because I appease the water spirits. I have given food to the water spirits. I've made offerings to the water spirits. So I don't have to concern about those things. Another thing is, there was like an African superstar that actually passed away like sometime, I believe it was like last year. But one of the things that they were saying, some of the African people, was that he didn't appease the water spirits. He didn't ask permission to cross that body of water. And they was like, no, right? And I know that, see, this is the thing. When you get too much into the colonized mindset says, oh, that's crazy, right? The colonized mindset says, oh, if you believe in that, that's crazy. Meanwhile, they also in the same sentence want you to believe that a white man walked across some water. Okay. Meanwhile, they want you to believe that a white man, okay, performed miracles. Okay. Now here's the thing. I just not, this is not really about race, but it is in relation to letting you know the difference between the colonized and the uncolonized, the colonized versus not colonized, the two. There's a clear difference, okay? We believe in the connection of the earth. We believe in the connectedness, being connected with one another. The power, the trees have spirits. All these things have spirits, right? And when you begin to say, oh, I don't have to respect those things, okay, that's why the earth is doing what it's doing right now. That's why you got these fucking volcanoes erupting that ain't erupted in 800 fucking years. Because, bitch, you got me fucked up. That's what the earth is saying right now, okay? Because, bitch, you got me fucked up. And that's basically what's happening here, okay? Because the colonizer will tell you that, oh, I don't have to appease these water spirits. That's crazy. Why you think these motherfuckers can't get past the Bermuda Triangle? Still to this day, these motherfuckers can't get past or get beyond the Bermuda Triangle. They got to go all the way around that motherfucker. They got to add additional time to their trip to make sure that they travel around this bitch. There's a reason for that. Okay? There's got to be some sort of portal or something over in that bitch. Okay? Now, I know I'm putting various different topics and conversations in one little pile, but that's because, to my in my opinion right now, most likely if you're here, you know kind of what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't have to explain too much of anything, because it's like you have a sub level of understanding, and if you don't, you better get it, okay? Because when you start seeing the birds marching down the goddamn street, do you got water at the crib? Because you need to make sure you got some. Do you know how to start a fire without a lighter? Because you need to know how to do that. Do you have certain tools and materials? Are you paying attention to the environment? Because what ends up happening when the birds and the animals start tweaking out and doing these things is then the people start getting agitated. And when the people start getting agitated, you know what they're going to do. Certain groups of people, the colonizers themselves, when they get agitated with certain things that's going on with the earth, they get violent. Do you got enough shells and bullets and clips to make it through on a situation where violence shall ensue because certain groups of people get agitated? That's a fucking question I need you to answer yourself. You ain't got to say shit to me. You ain't got to comment, none of that. Ask your motherfucking self that. You got enough fucking bullet clips for when these motherfuckers get to acting silly and you need to put their ass down? Are you even ready to put somebody down? Yes, I hit a duck the other day and cried. I have respect for life. But when it comes down to it, if it's me or you, so where are you at on that little statement there? And I think you need to be very clear, because based upon some of the things that have gone on and that have occurred recently, you should be very clear, okay, that yeah, there are not too many people who are going to, what's the right words here? What's the right word? There are not too many people, too many colonizers who are going to give two shits. You can just look at them and see. Look at the people. There was this lady crying down in Texas somewhere, and she was saying that she lives in an old home, like retirement community, and they don't have any food or water. They've been flooded out and this and that and the third. And she's crying because she's like, where is the government? Where is the FEMA? Where is all of this stuff going on? This was the same lady who 2 years ago was talking crap about somebody being on food stamps, by the way. Just want you to know that Mother Earth is definitely responding to people. Okay, so look, when shit like that starts happening, that's a fucked up thing, that you have to get to the point where things literally have to happen to you in your life in order for you to have empathy. The problem that we are seeing is that there are a lot of people who don't have empathy until it's too fucking late. So then you have to know that those are the type of people you cannot trust on them. You cannot look to them when shit hits the fan. Okay? Because they stupid. One. And two, they don't think it can happen to them. They think that they are outside of this whole it can happen to you conversation. And when you get caught with people like that, you get caught in fucked up situations. So don't get caught in fucked up situations because you're hanging out or you're next to or you're, side by side trying to kumbaya with people who don't have empathy as a policy in their mindset and the way that they believe and the way that they connect on earth. This is not the time to align yourself with non-empathetic people. If you are surrounding yourself with people who are not empathetic, just be ready to get dished out. Whatever the fuck coming to them is coming straight the fuck to you too. Just do that. Just be ready for that. Okay? All right? Because let me tell you something. Every time you put some shit out, sometime it might take a little while, but that bitch gonna come back, honey. So be careful what you put out. Treat people how you want to fucking be treated. Do things that you would not mind being done to you. Okay? And of course, sometimes you have to respond to things, but what I'm talking about is through and through. There are some people that just are grimy for no fucking reason. They just dirty and just don't got no fucking reasons for it. You just gonna just do that to this for no reason? For no reason, you just gonna hit the homeless man and just keep driving. Just for no fucking reason, huh? You just gonna do that? See what I'm saying? Like, there are some people who just do shit because they think it's okay to do because nobody's been checking their ass. Okay? Well, we not really, you don't want to, in this time that we are in and going into, you don't want to be that type of person and get caught there. Okay? Don't get caught with your hand in the goddamn cookie jar. Don't get caught with your motherfucking pants down. Okay? Be ready to show gratitude. What are you showing gratitude to? Whatever the fuck. At this point, it's about you being in the vibes and the frequency and in the energy of something. Because the thing is, you also, just like those people who are just like mean and rude just for no reason, just to be mean and rude, they're in that energy. So keep in mind, they in low vibe and energy. You're going to be grateful. You're going to show gratitude to whatever is good thing. Whatever. If somebody lets you cut in front of them on the highway, when no, you done passed 10 cars and nobody let you get in, and this one car opens up the roads for you. Thank you. It's that simple. You go to the grocery store, you got 2 items in your hand. This lady got a basket. She got 2 damn baskets full of shit. Go ahead in front of me. Thank you. Simple shit. It's simple. It's simple. Showing gratitude, it doesn't take a lot, doesn't take much of your time or energy. And it could actually boost your it could boost your frequency just a little bit every time you do it. So just start being very mindful of those things. And it's not because, I mean, obviously, it's just good to be a good fucking person. Like, you know, like, it's the fact that people question basic common courtesy and common morality. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, right? Like, what is wrong with you? So, yeah, like, it's okay. Start showing moments of gratitude. Another thing, if you're into it, go venerate the spirits. Get a goddamn some water if you want to. Go pour some water in the ground with libations. Give libations to the ancestors. Okay? Go give some offerings or something. Make an altar and put some offerings on that altar if you want to. Now, if you're afraid of doing that, okay, no problem. Some libations in the backyard to all the spirits on that land that you live on. That's a good thing to do. Because sometimes what you will find is that, like, for instance, the place that I used to live in, I was at that place for probably about 10 years. Okay, from 2016 until like a month ago, I lived in this place. So yeah, that's 9 years. That's almost 10 years. So what I found during the time that I lived in that place, though, was that there were some spirits. There were some native indigenous spirits there, but there were also some Afro-indigenous spirits there as well. And then there were also some kidnapped, enslaved Afro-indigenous people there as well. And so there's one place on the property area, not particularly on my specific property, but like a half a mile from it, there was an energy of somebody who had been unalived and hanged from a tree in that area. So I went to that space and I gave, I don't know what you would call, but I cleansed the area with some smudging and some sage and stuff like that. And then I did give like a little prayer and, you know, some libation and things like that for that. And try to release that spirit, because the thing is, when you go to a land or when you go to a space or a place, you can feel the energy. If you are tapped in, and if you can still pick up energy, if you're an empath, you're gonna pick it up. And it don't take much, because a lot of these spirits, so many people just go by every day and they don't respond to the spirits, or they don't pick up the energy, that a lot of these spirits, it's like when you can pick up on the energy, it's so heavy. The energy is so heavy. It's just not hard to read at all. It's not hard to read. It's not hard to pick up on at all. So oftentimes I will find, especially if I go to like a pebbly, deeply ancestral place or ancestral land, the spirits speak to me all the time. They never like, it's like I always know that there's something going on there. Like I will just feel it. I will just feel it. And so it depends on what I'm doing or what's going on in that place or whatever. If I might say a little prayer, or I might do like some actual land work and do some healing of the space. But sometimes I don't have the ability to do that, just because it's like, I'm just passing through this place. But if I will say, like, I will just say like a quick little word of recognition for the energy or for the spirit in that land. But what I want you to know is that there are a lot of lands that have pent up energy, pent up spiritual, energetic energy, pent up energetic forces that have yet to be released. So not only are the people on the earth experiencing oppression and crying and like dealing with a lot of difficulty, but then you also have the spiritual elements of the lands that have not been properly released. There has not been proper releases of those land masses. So now the earth is dealing with the spiritual element, the actual physical element, the tearing down of the trees, the animals are being agitated. There's so much going on. They're taking out all the fucking trees. Where the animals gonna go? You just gonna kill them? That's what you're gonna do? You just gonna kill them all? Or you gonna put them all in the zoo? That's what you're gonna do? Okay. Okay, let's see how that works. So we got the fucking polar bears jumping on your goddamn back, bitch. Leave these fucking animals alone. They need a fucking place to stay. They can't put them all in the goddamn zoo. You can't fucking shred them all and put them all on your fucking backs, because they actually have things to do on the fucking land. So now what you're seeing the earth, you're seeing the animals, you're seeing all sorts of things starting to respond to the oppression and the injustice of this colonized environment. You can build a home and you don't have to knock the whole damn forest down. You know how you do that? Choose one little fucking section, clear that little spot out, build a goddamn place there, and move the fuck on. And unfortunately, they want to build up so much. And I get it if there's places that people need to stay, but what about these motherfucking places that ain't nobody staying in? And you got the goddamn homeless people under the goddamn fucking bridge. You want to criminalize people not having a home to stay? So instead of dealing with this shit in your own fucking land, you're going across the goddamn sea to Gaza to try to rip these motherfuckers out their home? Do you see how many things, like the corruption is all over the place. It's just everything, everywhere, everybody, everything. It's because you let this motherfucker run rampant. Let me tell you, Nubian dynasty, I want to say the 19th dynasty. You know what they did? They got rid of every last one of them motherfuckers. They kicked them out. They kicked their ass out. Why they kick them out? Because they're destructive. Tearing everything up, stealing everything, killing the people, causing dissension in the earth. Okay? Imbalance in the earth. That imbalance is going to find a way to get out. Okay? It's going to find a way to express. And that's why you got a goddamn volcano in Hawaii that was dormant at the National Volcano Park. The motherfucker done erupted at the goddamn park, you mean? Yeah, at the park. That's not the only reason why. There's so many reasons. There's so many reasons. The energy. So this is why I come here and I talk to y'all about energetic things that you can do to aid and to help. And, you know, it helps you too. It helps you too. Okay? So these are things that are starting to occur as a result of the universe and the earth being irritated. Okay? It feels like it needs to fight. It needs to fight. It needs to protect itself. So when it needs to protect itself, it starts to go into protection mode. Bitch, I'm about to blow up. Bitch, I'm about to blow up. Up. Okay. And you got the eruption of the volcano. Now we must remember, all around from Alaska all the way down to South America, all on the border of that land, all up and through there is volcanoes. So I would not be surprised, considering that we had, well, actually that last wildfire that went over in California, I think a lot of that has to do with the fucking electrical vehicles. Them fucking electrical vehicles, because the goddamn battery, the lithium battery, them motherfuckers blow up too quick. That's why the fuck they couldn't get that fire under order, because it was not only just the fire with the trees and the, you know, the shit that they pick up around the earth, but then them goddamn lithium batteries. Them motherfuckers flammable as fuck. It's like a chemical fire. Chemical fires are harder to put out. So you got a chemical fire with the goddamn cars, the goddamn EV units, EV cars. So yeah, like if you are in an area where you get wildfires and stuff like that, and you have an EV vehicle, if you know that there are fires in your area, get that motherfucking vehicle out your goddamn garage. Put that bitch somewhere else. Okay, put that motherfucker on the curb or something. Because if your house, let's just say your house catches, right? If that fire get a hold of that vehicle, it's fucking over for you, okay? And I'm just saying, like, you know, just be fucking careful with these EV units, because these motherfuckers is chemical. They're gonna blow up, okay? See, we think that we'll watch movies, right? And these movies, they show like if a car hits something, it'll blow up. That's actually not real. That's these EV cars though. That's real. That's more realistic with these EV cars. So we got to be careful with them. Okay. And of course, these EV units are going to be more and more popular. They're going to be more and more on the road, you know, because of fuel emission and all that shit like that. The carbon copy on the earth, all that shit like that, right? Meanwhile, y'all ain't talking about all the goddamn forests y'all taking out, because them forests, that's a carbon motherfucking copy too, bitch. Stop pulling them goddamn trees out the ground, all right? And build on the land that's already cleared out, all right? But I'm just telling y'all, look, there are going to be more shows on the earth of agitation as things begin to change and rev up. Now, you can choose to be fearful if you want to, or you can choose to take measures to protect yourself, protect your family, and to be able to adjust and acclimate to the environment. But the shit's going down regardless. So, I mean, it ain't no point in being scared, baby. Better ride this train and these wheels ride this motherfucker till the wheels fall off. That's what I'm going to do. And have a great fucking time doing it, too, okay? So, yeah, if you're going to go to the ocean, appease the water spirits. It's simple. You know, feed the fucking, you know, they got small fish in there, crabs and shit like that. Feed them some goddamn crackers or some shit, you know. Appease the water spirits, you know. Make sure that you're putting libations to your ancestors, you know. Make sure that you are doing, when you are smudging your home, smudge the fucking outside too. If you got like a wooded area behind you, I'm sure some shit that went down in the woods. Just send some sage out there real quick. It'll love it. It'll fucking love it. Trust me. I do it all the time. And every time I do it, I feel like I get like a cleansing wash shower, like a little rain shower, even during the non-rainy season, stuff like that. But it's like things that will happen. Like, you'll notice blessings coming too. Like when you do something for the earth or for the environment, you'll see blessings come through in some way or another. And it doesn't all have to be the same. It could be something like, maybe you just get, like the other day, I got a free car wash. Something small, right? It could be a check in the mail. It could be anything. It could be any fucking thing. I don't know what it is. But I'm just saying, like, it could be just about anything. I just know that the other day, I ended up getting a free car wash. I was blessed. I was like, thank you. You know, I needed to wash my car and everything. I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad. So, simple stuff, right? But appease the water spirits. Pour your libations. Set up an altar for your ancestors or for the orishas or whatever. Okay? Stop letting these motherfuckers tell you that your ancestral practices and the ancient traditions of your ancestors is witchcraft and voodoo and all that shit. Who the fuck cares? Even if it is witchcraft and voodoo, how can you sit there and appease their spirits, giving life, okay, giving life to their made up spirits, and not appease your own ancestry? You know what I mean? So just think about it. It's worth thinking about. It's worth thinking about. How can you follow the gods of your oppressor is the next question. I mean, that's an even better question than the first one. How can you follow the god of your oppressors and believe that that god is going to do more for you than your ancestral traditional gods? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But all right, you know, do what you got to do. But just know that the earth is responding. The birds, the ducks marching, hunted ducks marching down somebody's street. The ducks, the seagulls dropping out of the sky. The water, turning blood red down in Argentina. The volcano in the national park in Hawaii erupting. Okay. The floods over in Texas. All right. There are things that are happening, and they are warning signs. What are they warning us of? Well, shit, I would say get your fucking shit together, you know. I would say that's a great way to just say, you know, maybe I should just get my shit together. Maybe I should be a better human today and tomorrow. Maybe I should start being a better fucking human. That could help. Anyway, I digress. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully you've had a wonderful day. Hopefully you're going to have a wonderful rest of your day. Just know that, you know, the earth does thank you. Does thank you. Listen to my sounds. Sounded drunk right there, didn't it? The earth will show its gratitude to you. The earth does thank you for the things that you do. Feed the fucking birds for all, you know what I mean? Feed the birds, feed the squirrels. I ain't saying invite them in your goddamn house. I didn't say let them in the house. I didn't say let them in the front door and let them sit on your table. No, I didn't say that. I just said feed them. Okay? Simple things. Simple things can be done to appease the earth, to appease the spirits on the earth, to help aid and guide, you know, the spirits on the earth, or whatever the case. But in our communities, in our ancient communities, there was always a healer. There was always a shaman. I'm not talking about a doctor. Okay? Doctors, they seem to just be keeping the people sick and suppressing the symptoms with medications. They're not healing a fuck thing. They're not healing nothing. Trust it. Okay? So in our ancient communities, we had a shaman and we had healers. Okay? When you pull the shaman and the healers out the communities, now what? You had wisdom women with wisdom, men with wisdom. Really, you had the oracles. The women were the oracles, not the men. The women are the oracles. The oracles would give messages and things of that nature. Sometimes those can come in multiple, you know, the shaman, healer, oracle can all be one individual. But when you pull those out of community, what are you saying? You're pulling those traditions out. You're pulling those practices that the shamans did. They call it witchcraft now. They call it voodoo and witchcraft now. You didn't have the types of issues that you have in our communities now that you have no shamans. So just think about it, you know. Hey, you ain't gotta listen to me. Fuck it. Just go do some research. You ain't gotta listen to me. I'm just here to share my version of it, you know. I'm sharing my goddamn version of it. You ain't gotta like it. It's fine. Anyway, I am going to come back later when I got something else to talk about. On this video, we just kind of covering the shifts, changes, and the vibes on the earth and how things are swiftly changing, how the earth is responding to the disrespect. All right. See y'all later. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, smash the like button, and I will see y'all on the next one.